welcome to the Bearded Bro Show podcast. I am one of your hosts, Dustin, and we are forever joined by
Trav, as always. How's it going, guys? And we're actually joined by a guy that has been on here before and many other things that we do. His name is Ryan.
Yeah, guys,
Hello.
What's up?
I just want to say too, season 2, episode 3, first guest, Ryan. Glad to have you.
With the three of us, what does that mean? I don't know what it means.
This has been like a year in the making. Like, we've owed Ryan
Pretty
an
much.
episode since like the dawn of time, like all three of us together, because Ryan's filled in whenever I couldn't be there. So
Yeah. I've been wanting to, all three of us, we've never done this, like, just see kind of how it works.
Ryan's voice makes my ears tingle. They're like,
Yet another thing that Dustin's just going to say and forget that he even freaking said it.
you know
It's
what I
like-
was really gonna say, and you should be proud of me for stopping myself. I was gonna say his voice makes my pussy quiver, but that would just sound weird.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'm out.
Dude, I freaking told Dustin the other day, just real quick, before I forget about this. I texted him because I was listening. I don't listen to like every single episode back. I'll maybe listen like 20 minutes or whatever, but actually, like, whenever I do listen back to this podcast, I get sucked in, where it's like, it's weird how it's like, it's yourself, but you kind of like look at it outside the box as like entertainment. So I was just like reflecting on things that I didn't really remember saying. I was really tired that night too when we recorded, and Dustin was like in a really good mood. He even says it in there, and he said something that was literally like, I don't remember even what we were talking about, the context, but
We were talking about
2020
and how
And-
like transitioned into 2021.
Well,
Like,
and
we
then
were on
he-
the
and then,
subject
like-
of like,
I was talking, like I said something, and I didn't even hear on the phone in real time Dustin say this, but he said 2021 is going to be like the new Game Plus, and I lost it. I lost it. Like,
Dude, I lost it
I
too.
told Dustin, I like laughed on my couch for a good 5 minutes, clapping, like, it's good when you clap. And that,
it's real when you clap.
it was just literally like, it threw me off so much, like, this is going to be the new Game Plus. And I knew it was going to be something that he wouldn't remember. So I hit him up about it. And he said, like, yeah, I don't remember saying that. Just one of those things that comes out. But
It's
yeah,
quite
that
a
one was
genius
definitely,
thing to
that was
say.
crazy.
I was
a lot of fun. Do what?
I really enjoyed the most recent episode. Specifically for that was a standout moment.
We're looking at the new Game Plus. Like, you said it so quick, and I just, like, yeah, it was great. But I think
Did
Dustin
Lucas
had
ever
something
auto-tune
to
my fart?
do. What?
Lucas and I were talking about auto-tuning my fart in that episode. So Lucas messaged me and he's like, dude, I listened to the podcast back. Am I cutting out the fart? And I was like, no, of course not. And he was like, okay, man, but like, did you like put your ass on the mic? I was like, Lucas, I fully went
I
from
think
sitting
I
down.
actually
I
got to
stood
that
up.
and didn't know what it was. It's like, what is that?
I told him straight up. I was like, I stood up completely and turned around as the middle of Trav talking and just bent over and stuck my ass on my mic and farted.
Just
Oh,
another
God,
day in
man.
the life of Dustin.
You guys aren't gonna get anything like this anywhere else. You might as well just keep subscribing. Just make like 100 accounts and just keep subscribing.
Yeah, this is the only podcast I listen to. Like, I even told Trav, like,
Yeah, I was telling Ryan something about like, oh yeah, I don't know why we were talking about this, but I was listing things that I like to do. He's like, oh, games, podcasts, whatever, and then he was just like, I don't listen to other podcasts. I just listen to you guys. I was like,
it's
yeah,
an
I get it.
exaggeration, kind of, because I have listened to other podcasts, of course. 'Cause I do enjoy it, but this one is the only one I can think of immediately that comes to mind that I keep up with. I mean, I don't know.
It's its
too
own
good.
thing. I definitely didn't get in podcasts until recently. Like, maybe 2 years back.
Trav
when
is
I
the
started, if
podcast
not-
guy, though. Like, that's your main thing that you or listen to anyway.
Yeah, I mean it's its own thing, but their podcasting is literally like, it's basically taken over the world in a way when it comes to entertainment. Like you can't listen to the radio on any station without some kind of ad for like, here's this one thing, or you can listen to a bunch of podcasts, and like the announcer, like the person saying it is the person that's like, I'm a fan of this one, I listen to it all the time. Like it's like, I don't know, there's something to like listening to one or more people just talk. There's something to it. Of course, like we try not to go like over an hour, but like some of the best ones out there are those like massive like 2 to 3 hours, just because you kind of just get lost in it. And yeah.
I honestly feel like, though, if we ever had the chance to like sit down and do one face to face, I really feel like then it would continue, because I feel like in person we would just have so much to say to each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Be totally
like
different.
I really feel like that like if we ever did an episode where we sat down and talked like in the same room together, it would go. Like there's no doubt in my mind that
It would
episode
go.
would probably be like a few hours.
Look down, it's
go.
like, this has been 4 hours. Like, how do we even edit this thing? Oh, we just don't. We'll just make it 4 hours. Like, what do
It
we
will go.
I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. It's podcasts are a thing now for sure. Dustin, I think you had something you wanted to talk about specifically.
Yeah, I'm gonna I might cry here for you guys. I'm actually drowning my sorrows in a Bud Light Lime right now, because I'm just so heartbroken over Microsoft and how bad they're fisting my ass, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no way around it. They are literally like, they didn't even spit on it. They punched me straight in the butthole with this one.
Why did I take a drink? I am stupid.
Yeah,
I
bad
am so
idea,
stupid
Trav.
to do that.
So I mentioned in the last episode, I was all excited. I was like, man, like me and my fiance, we went and got new phones. Like I got like the iPhone 12. I fucking love it. Like it's awesome. And I'm a very, like, I actually made a video talking about this on my YouTube channel. I'm very big into like my online like security, right? Like, I mean, if I had like only like a couple subscribers, I wouldn't care. Like my channel is at a point now where like it's like, I hate using the term like I'm known, but like people, like they know of me. And there are ignorant people out there who will literally do anything they can to ruin anything that's going for you. So like I take the 2-factor authentication super seriously. So the first thing I did, like when we got home and I got my phone, the first thing I started doing was logging into everything and changing everything over to my new phone number, because I knew my old phone number wasn't going to be active that day. So like I wouldn't be able to log into anything unless I changed it. So I go on and I change everything on Microsoft, and everything else went super smooth. Google, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything. Everything else worked perfectly fucking fine. No hassle. Go to Microsoft, they're like, oh yeah, your account's going to be held and reviewed for 30 days to prove it's you and actually change your number. And I'm like, what? And I was like, okay, that's weird. Why wouldn't I just be able to like get on and swap it out, Nope, my account is locked for 30 days. I cannot access anything to do with my Microsoft account until like February 5th. Yeah, February 5th is the day. Mind you, I have had this account for like 12 years and never had any issues up until like a week ago.
Yeah. It's always weird. It's always weird how that happens. Like I'm kind of just thinking on it as you're talking about it, because I don't really understand. Like I can't even think of one reason that would happen, just because it's like you said, if you have something for so long, like I know that all that stuff is really touchy and you can easily get locked out of like anything nowadays. It's more of a thing than it's ever been, I guess, is the way to say it. But for them to suspend you that long, it doesn't even make sense to me. Like, why would it be that long versus just like a few days? Like, why would it take that long? Why would it take like a month to review who you are?
Right, like we had to change Trista's number on Twitch
Yeah.
for her to log in, and like we submitted it through this Authy thing, and they were like 2 to 3 days, 3 days max. Like, well, your number will be changed. Microsoft is 30 days. It's not that they locked me out because they thought I was like a hacker. Basically, when you change any sort of security info through them, they like freeze it to make sure that nobody is trying to get on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I understand it from their point of view, but that's a long time.
Yeah,
That's
way too long.
And what honestly what pisses me off about it the most is like I've been wanting to like sit down and just enjoy a good story game, like a story driven game. Like I want to play Jedi Fallen Order again so fucking bad, but I cannot even log into my account. Like it will not let me. I can't. And people are like, "Oh, the Xbox app on your PC, I can't log into anything to do with that account." Period. It won't let me. And on top of that, that's like my entire YouTube channel, like outside of this podcast, my entire Minecraft channel is built like everything I do is on my Xbox, right? Minus the one series I have on PC, which is what I've been uploading. And people don't even like care to watch it. Like it does not do well on my channel at all. I mean, I enjoy it, so fuck the people that don't watch it. I don't care. But like, like people literally sub to me and watch me for my Let's Build a City and my tutorials. But I can't do any of that because I have no access to my Xbox account. And I've had people argue with me, "Oh, just do it on the PC." Everything is saved on my Xbox. Like I can't do anything. I've tried calling Microsoft. I've emailed Microsoft. I have tweeted at Microsoft. I have done the live chat with an agent on Microsoft. They're like, nope, can't do anything about it. Your number will be changed in 30 days. Good luck. And like all I'm thinking is like, okay, now what if there's somebody that like literally runs their business off of that, right? And they had to change something, and are you gonna lock like a business out of their account for 30 days? I don't know. They're fucking stupid. And it pains me to say it because like I've literally been so loyal to them for so long, and then they just fucked me for 30 days. As if the government already doesn't do that enough. I got Microsoft fucking me in the mouth as the government fucks me in the ass. So it's like I'm like on a fucking spit roast. I don't know, dude.
Jeez.
Yeah. Me and Trav are very familiar with Microsoft doing. I mean, that's the most extreme thing I've ever heard them do. But me and Trav have went through crap with them in terms of logging in or. For forever. I'm talking about since like 2009. I've had problems. Like, with my email mostly, and that's still Microsoft, but like Xbox will screw you over, like find weird ways. I don't know, but that's the most extreme I've ever heard is locking you out for that long. That's
while they change the number, like surely it's not going to take that long. Again, I understand why they do it, but I feel like there's so many other like, I think about it quite often actually, and like what could. If I was Microsoft, what would I do differently, right? Like, I get why they're doing it. They're protecting my account. I understand that. But, like, why couldn't they give me an option like, hey, add, while this number changes, add a backup email where you can receive a code,
That's what I was thinking, because they usually set it up that way.
No. I can't do anything. And, like, even if I go on there and try to cancel that, and say like, oh, it wasn't me, it's somebody trying to do it, like it still asks for authentication codes sent to my old number. Like I don't have access to that. Like I have the phone, but the number's not active. So of course I'm not going to get the text messages that come through. Like, I'm not going to fucking call AT&T and be like, hey, I need you to activate this old number again and pay this money just to receive a fucking text message. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just... I mean, I just have to wait it out. I really don't have much of a choice. I've done everything. Like when you call, they literally will not even put you through to a live representative.
Yeah, I hate having to deal with those guys and stuff. Like it's always this automated system, this long thing that's like they'll try everything, and I've realized with a lot of companies that you call, I've like Ryan said, we've dealt with this kind of thing so many times. Like, I remember having to call, like, 1-800 for my Xbox, like, a million times in my past, and it always felt like, and this is with, I think more so anybody else, they are one of the better ones. They're probably not anymore, because I think when I've recently tried to call for my Xbox, they're like, why not, they're basically telling you, why not just do all this online? It's like, no, I want to talk to a real person, and all these companies do everything that they can possible to make sure you don't get to a person. It's always like, they'll stop you a million times. Like, you just have to stay on the phone for like 2 hours to finally, like, you know, I don't know, like, I've had to like end the call and call again, get through their main menu system again, and just really figure out, because like most of the time I'm able to figure out, most of the time I'm kind of able to just like figure out what answer to give and stuff, because those moments where it tries to let you use your voice to say what you need, a lot of times, you know, like my mom would always do this too, like customer service or representative or something. And a lot of times that works. Sometimes it doesn't. But there's always... Just know, guys, if you're ever calling companies like that, there's always a way to try to get to a person. It's just very... It's a process, though.
It's so time-consuming.
Yeah, it's so... You have to dedicate... Like, you might as well just dedicate your whole night to the problem. And it just... Sometimes you don't have that time. But,
I think... For me, the most extreme.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, the most extreme thing for me was like, I'd have to like really sit and really remember exactly what happened. But like AT&T, if you remember, like locked me out of my internet for a month.
Yeah.
Like that was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
I remember
like,
one.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember one big one that you had where you had to call Toshiba. And, like, it was a long thing where it was just all very, like, they basically wanted you to pay all this money to fix something or whatever, and you're just like, it took long enough to get to a person, not only for them to just basically be like, no, nothing you can do unless you buy, like, this thing for, like, $1,000 or something like that. I don't even remember what the issue was.
I've been put through the mill so many times, like... I don't know. Mainly, like one time with those magazines that comes to mind. Even though that was like, that was almost 10 years ago now. But like they were like, oh yeah, just you can continue our services for only like $522, and I'm like, okay, $522. Like, because I thought it was $522, like that.
$5.22 for a month. Yeah, and I feel like there's always a representative trying to. I don't know. There's some sketchy companies out there where, like, if they say something like 522, like they're specifically saying it so that it confuses you. Where it's like it sounded like they said $5 when they actually mean they don't add the hundreds with what they're saying.
And there was one time where Microsoft, like something to do with Xbox, caused fraud on my card. That was really weird. Like it charged like a $10 thing that wasn't like a real thing. So I was like, what the heck? And then like my bank called like, oh my gosh, you have this on your card. And I'm like,
I'll never forget the worst thing I ever went through with Xbox. I was living in Florida, and this was like, I don't know, it was Destiny 1, and I'm pretty sure it was out for a little while before like I really got into it, but my friends all played it, and like, I mean, I got into Destiny 1 like super hard, right? So we were playing it all the time, and it was right before, I'm pretty sure the DLC was called the Taken King. Was like the last DLC for that game. I don't know how familiar you guys are with it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I remember the advertisement for it, but I never.
The Taken King. I believe that was Destiny 1.
Yeah, it was.
Anyways, I pre-ordered it. Right, it was what, $40 or $50. I want to say it was like $50. It was a big expansion, or $40, whatever. It was around $50, regardless. It was more than 40, less than, or less than. More than 40, but not anything over 50. It was in that ballpark. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Damn, Dustin, I only had a half a beer. What the fuck? So I pre-ordered it, they charged me for it. The release day, I never got the DLC. It kept telling me to buy the DLC. So I called Microsoft flipping the fuck out because I was like, I'm not rebuying this. It was $50. I remember. I was like, and they're like, oh, no, you have to rebuy it. And I was like, I fucking bought it. Like, my bank was trying to communicate with him. I had PNC Bank at the time. It was this whole thing where I was charged the $50 for the pre-order, but never got the DLC. And I never got money back either because they told me they can't refund digital content. But never gave me the digital content.
Yeah, I love me some digital content. Digital games, I've kind of like, I've kind of been won over with just for the accessibility of like you just click on it. You don't have to put in a disc or anything like that, and just switching games, as fast as you want. But that's the only catch that I figured out a long time ago is you can't just return digital games.
No.
Once you have it, or uninstall it. But you can't, once you bought that, there's nothing. That's the only thing. But maybe in the future, I don't know if they can figure out something. But I don't know. Figuring out something with that probably would just cause chaos. But
it would. It definitely would. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like when it comes to especially like video games and movies, I like collecting physical media, and I know you're like that with movies, Trav.
Yeah.
I never buy games digitally unless I'm super like sure about that game. Like if it's one of those games that I'm just gonna like play one or two times and then not touch it again, I'd rather just own the physical copy. That's just me, because then like if I didn't like it or whatever, I can return it, I get money back or sell it off or whatever. As opposed to having, because I've bought in games digitally that I've not liked. So
yeah, I mean, it's anytime I buy a game digitally, it's like Valhalla was like Assassin's Creed, so it's like I'm gonna play every single thing they put out. So it was like I knew I was gonna play it, but I do kind of miss that freedom of like, like I even had this thought because I know Thomas really wants to play Valhalla at some point, and I kind of wish that I would have the disc that way that I could just be like, well, then borrow it. That's one of the only things. Returning and letting people borrow games, or the other way around, or you borrow from people like my buddy Dylan. He told me that the other day too. He's like, I only buy physical games. Like, and I get it. And I totally get that. I just kind of just like, I don't know, just. I think whenever I transition to buying more digital games, it's just more of like let's see how this goes. And then I just kind of got lost in it where I'm not even thinking about it anymore because, I don't know, like the freedom to like pre-order a game and it downloads on your console pretty much like before it's even out is like, there's something to that. And I don't know, that whole like I pre-ordered it, it's ready to go, and at midnight on the release day I can play this. I don't know. There's just something special to it, but I do miss the physical aspect of it, and just looking at your game collection, it's like this is what I have, because it's obviously slowed down with discs because I buy more digital content. But either one's great. Is how I look at it. It's like either one I like, so it's. And also one thing that's really been the home Xbox situation. Ashley follows my Xbox, so if I buy a game digitally, I know we're gonna both play together, or like Valhalla, where it's not a co-op game, but I knew she would play it digital so that she can download it literally without, like, I'm the one that bought it and it's free, basically. And it's thanks to Xbox that's even possible. It's like they just have a system that I told Ryan a long time ago. I don't know how they've kept that around. I don't know why why they haven't. You would think they would have been like, no, like that, that it would have been some kind of hack that they would have just shot down like after the Xbox One came out, but they never did. You can still do it. Like, and as far as I know, you can still do it on the new consoles too. I may be wrong about that, but I mean, the Series X.
You can also do that on the PlayStation too.
Yeah, it's just like you would think like, oh, they want to make more money, so make every person that has a console buy the game. But no, you can just like, all I do is pay the $60 for the game, and then Ashley can also download it, and that's it. Like, it's just that's another plus to digital. So it's like, it just depends. But if it's a game that's just literally like she doesn't even own a PlayStation, so I have, Spider-Man on PS4 on disc, like, because I just like, when I got the PS4, I literally went and got Spider-Man that day, so I was like, I'm gonna go get the disc, and that be it. But everyone's tastes is definitely different.
I don't know. With me personally, like, Dustin probably doesn't know this about me, but Trav knows it very well. Where I am a big supporter of, I don't want to say like digital only everything, but I mostly just do digital anymore, 99% of the time, me personally. And it has nothing to do with like, oh, I for sure prefer digital over physical. I like both pretty equally. It's just so happens that I've just kind of switched over almost totally to digital. And I have very few physical copies of movies either. And actually no physical copies of games currently for Xbox One, except for I bought the Cansom collection, like Borderlands.
Yeah, and another thought that just came to mind when he was saying that was, one thing I will give to discs that I will tip my hat to is what they come with. Because I was texting Dustin about it when I got Cyberpunk. I was like, it would have been fine to get digital for this game, but I'm so glad that that night, when I had to use like a certain discount at a certain place that I work, I was like, if I don't walk away with a game tonight, then I'm going to beat myself up because it's basically like almost half price. So I was like, okay, Cyberpunk then, because I couldn't find another game I wanted. And I am so glad I have disc for Cyberpunk because it came with, and Dustin,
There's so much stuff.
Yeah, there's so much, like there's a map, there's stickers, I don't know, it's just like it's a much cooler collection than I ever expected, and an HBO Max trial inside it, because I kind of forgot that it's WB that is basically runs CD Projekt Red, so it's like that's cool. It's like, it's not what I've expected. So that is also what I miss about disc games, is just all the cool little stuff that comes in your case. Some games you're just disappointed, like, oh, there's just a disc. But that was a nice surprise that I didn't expect, and made me glad that I actually purchased the physical copy. Even though, a disc and a case, like, me and her are running out of like game, because we have like a drawer with all the games in it, and we're just running out of room for that. So if I ever get more discs in the future, like let's say like 10 more discs, like that's what it's going to take to like get some kind of like, I don't know, like another shelf or something for games, because if you get a lot of games, they take up room. That's another thing I like about digital. Yep. Is it's like 50-50 for me. I love both in different ways. They have pros and cons, but
yeah. And like, I understand too, like, Ryan says he goes full digital. I get it. And I mean, I understand it for like the sake of convenience. And
it's very convenient, like just kind of pressing a button and you have it. I mean, it's cool. Y'all do make a really good point that I've legitimately never thought of, is you can't refund it. I've never thought of that for digital, even though I've known that, but I've never fully thought like that is a huge pro of getting it physical, which I used to be completely against digital. And then once Xbox One happened, I completely turned around and was like, okay, digital. Which then again, Trav's personality is very much a collector. Like, you are you want to collect every Blu-ray and every game, and I have never been like that. Like, even as far back as I can think of.
I'm a collector, but man, have I seen some bigger collections.
Well,
Oh my
there's
god, like I'm
people
just
that are
saying.
insane.
compared to me anyway, Trav is like a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
time
I mean-
collector.
Me
'Cause
and
my
Ryan's
shelf
have
is
always had
literally
this
like-
joke, like kind of like, between each other. That's like something I don't forget how he worded it. Like it sounds so mean, but it's not like anything mean towards Ryan, but it just like, how did we say it? I know me and Ashley said it one way one time. It was like, he's not a thing person or something like that. He doesn't get things. He's like, you love media and the accessibility of that, and obviously you're a film fan like me and stuff, but you don't like, there's not like this thing like of like, oh, I want this or this to
Now,
put somewhere or whatever.
Here's the inverse of that. That's also me. I love VHSs. Like, and I think that is nostalgia.
Yeah, and you're more
coming
into
back.
collecting music type stuff too.
Yeah, and I plan to start collecting vinyls. That's like a big thing that I'm wanting to start doing once I get a record player and that whole setup and everything. But yeah, that's one big thing in the past few years is I know that my parents have they never throw away anything. They're very much like, I wouldn't say they're collectors by any means, but they are very sentimental. So every single VHS tape of all time that they have, they just have. And I was just like, clicked in my head, like, I want all of those. So, I mean, and I've gotten a few, and then apparently we can't find any other ones. But in that way, I'm very nostalgic, but I would never be like, okay, I'm going to go out and buy every Blu-ray I've ever wanted. Like, no, thank you. I'm fine, honestly. And that's money, but more than money, I guess I'm just not a thing person in general, but there's some exceptions.
I mean, everybody's got their thing that they spend time. The best way to word it is like, what do people like to spend time thinking about? And it's like, stuff that I like may not even cross Ryan's mind to ever like purchase or whatever. But also, I mean, like, but Dustin over there has got like, I don't even know how. I mean, I've got some pops, but I think you might beat me on that one.
Oh, I think I have close to. Oh God, dude! I want to say I'm probably right around the 100 threshold.
Yeah, so nowhere near for me. Nowhere near.
I have 3,
Right.
and 2 of those were a gift from Trav.
And Ryan got me this Godzilla one, which I still cannot.
Oh my gosh!
I cannot make myself unbox it because I want, like, I look at it. It's in the living room. We have like these square shelves that just like, I don't know. It looks so good with the pops on it. It's not like too much because finding that balance with Ashley, where it's like, I mean, she's a nerd too, but she wants things to be like nerdy, but also things look nice. And like, I totally get it because I have that too. But like, the pops just like belong on these like square like shelves. I don't know how I did it, but I managed to make them like kind of just blend in to the environment, look good. And the Godzilla one sits up there because it was in my studio for so long and I just never really see it because I'm not in there as much as I am in the living room. So when I put it in here, I'm like, I keep looking at it and I just think to myself, like, one day I will take him out of the box, but it's not today. Like, it's just one of those things that's like, I want to, but then I don't. Like, what if, like, later on down the line that's, like, worth a lot of money or something? Because, like, I mean...
Oh, they are.
Maybe.
Like,
I have
Japanese
some...
stuff is way more of, like, a thing. Like, I was kind of shocked that the convention actually had something like that. I mean, I'm not, because Godzilla is way more mainstream now than he's ever been. But I was still like, wow, this is like... Because it's not just like, oh, from the American films, it's one of his original designs. Like, I think it's actually from the first movie. So I'm like, that's crazy. But it just, the nice touch to this Godzilla pop is that he's one of the big ones. Like, he's literally bigger than most Pops. So it's just it's amazing.
Yeah.
Then everybody else, I've got Dustin and Hopper from Stranger Things. They stand together. Nick Valentine. Miles Morales, which I still have not unboxed either from the animated film. I just can't. I can't take him out for one because, like, he's kind of in like an action pose, and I'm like, if I take him out, like, I cannot put him in that pose again.
He stays in that pose, dog. They come with a little stand that kind of like holds him off the ground.
Okay, well, but yeah, any Pop that I've ever bought is like literally like it's something that's like these characters mean something. I'm not like, I know a lot of people collect like anything and everything Pop, but you know, like I have a Marcus Pop because, you know, Gears, I've always loved that franchise and it means something to me. So it's like, I always have these ideas with Pops though. Like, I don't have a Naruto Pop and I need that because that show is one of my favorite just things of all time and it means something to me nostalgically and emotionally and everything. And I don't, like, all I need is Naruto himself, and I would be satisfied. That's kind of how I see it, where, like, other people, like, go crazy, like, let me get every character that's accessible to me. I kind of just, like, get one Pop, if I'm going to, of different franchises that I like. But I've really just, I haven't shopped for Pops in so long, so what I have is what I have. But I really like how they can just kind of blend into stuff, because I don't want them, like, all in one area. I kind of want them to be, like, spread out, you know, throughout the house or something. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things, like, if someone's walking by, it's like, just a little bit of joy seeing this character they might like or something in this little cute form, because basically what Pops are is just taking the character and limiting them down to, like, a really big head with, like, the little stuff that they might have, like, I don't know. I'm assuming the Indiana Jones one probably has a whip, so I bet the whip is probably really small. And, like, I don't know. I've never even seen one of those, actually. I need one of those. But, I don't know. And even down to, like, my Charmander one. He's a little, what do you call it? That texture that's, like, mimicking.
It's called flocked.
Yeah, I was about to, like, he's furry. So I was like, that's such a nice touch that you wouldn't really be able to know unless you, like, held him. But, yeah, I don't know. It's Pop, Vinyl Pop figures are definitely one of the best things that have ever happened. Like, at first, when they first came out, I remember thinking, like, this is kind of stupid. Like, I don't know why, but I just kind of, like, I saw people were collecting them, and I wasn't all about it yet. But I've come to like them, even though I still really enjoy more of the idea of, like, figures that actually look exactly like the person or whatever. But I do get the idea of the cuteness factor to changing this character into, like, this little animated guy. So it's like I've come around on it a lot.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I didn't like them either. And it wasn't until I started doing Loot Crate way back when, and I actually got a Han Solo. It was like a Loot Crate exclusive. It was the first ever Pop I got, because I remember seeing them in, like, FYE and Walmart and Target. And I was like, these are stupid. Why would anybody get these, you know? Like, they're useless. Then I got Han Solo. Same day, went to Target, bought a bunch of Fallout ones and Batman Arkham Asylum ones, and it was fucking on like Donkey Kong, baby.
And I have one Batman, and Ashley surprised me with him, and his box and everything is so cool. But there's only one catch to this Batman.
Is it the black box, the 80th anniversary?
Do what?
Is it the black box, the black and gold box, the 80th anniversary ones?
Yep, there's one catch to that Batman. Bat nipples. That's the only...
Dude, we love bat nipples.
That's the only thing that, like, I kind of was like, you know what? The box is cool. I'm going to keep them in the box, but also because I don't want to face facts that this is not one of my favorite Batman versions. But Ashley didn't know. I mean, she knew, but she was just kind of like, when she got it for me, it was just like, this box is cool. He's cool. And he does look cool. Don't get me wrong. But, like, when you really pay attention, you realize, oh my God, he's Batman and Robin. Batman, so, or whichever version that is, I don't know, but,
Nipples.
Do what?
Nipples.
But yeah, if I'm gonna get another Batman, I definitely would obviously want a Dark Knight. Or I could see them doing a Robert Pattinson the Batman when that comes
Dude,
out.
I have so many fucking Batman pops. It's unbelievable. I
He just
have.
belongs as a pop, you know, it's like with the suit and stuff.
Oh yeah, I have the Batman Arkham Knight Batman. I have the Arkham Asylum Batman. I have the Batman Begins or Batman Beyond, whatever the black with the red suit is. Batman Beyond.
Yeah, that's Beyond.
Yeah, I have Beyond. I have the animated one. The Batman from Batman versus Superman. I have a bunch of Batmans. I have Batmite from the 80th anniversary.
I honestly think I wouldn't mind having the Batman and Robin Batman pop. Just even ironically, I think it'd be fun.
Oh yeah, it's cool. Like I respect it, but like I said, I respect it so much more in the box because for one, the box, it's basically one of those situations where the box is like cooler than him, so it like I don't know, it balances out. Some I kept in boxes, some I didn't.
The podcast, fucking taking pictures of all my Batman pops.
But yeah, and then mine, you know, like I said, I have 3, so I got Kronk and Baby Groot and Crow from MST 3K. Which my uncle mostly is who appreciates that probably the most, because I mean he actually grew up with Mystery Science Theater 3000. But yeah, and he sits facing my TV.
Yeah, pops are cool, and I'll tell you what, man. A lot of them have crazy value. I have all of American Horror Story Freak Show. I have the whole collection. And as a whole, if they would say they were like in pristine condition, obviously they've moved. You know, some of the boxes are dinged up, which I mean I don't care, because they're mine. But I know a lot of people care about that. If those boxes were in perfect conditions and in protectors, I could honestly probably sell all 4 of those for a couple $100 easily.
Yeah,
Which is
I mean,
absolutely insane. One of the most rare pops I have in my collection is actually a Think Geek exclusive Stranger Things pop, and it's the Upside Down Will.
nice.
And he's actually like in the box upside down too. Like that's how he was packaged. So
Yeah,
it's actually it's.
Stranger Things one would be cool just to represent, because I love Stranger Things.
I have a ton.
So much.
I think I have 4 Dustins, Hopper, Alexi. I have Lucas, Mike, Upside Down Will. I have a bunch. I have so many.
I'm looking over at my Hopper right now, and I keep forgetting that. Like one nice detail is he's got a little coffee cup. It's the best.
Yeah, I love the Hopper one. Yeah.
And I don't know, them just standing together. I couldn't, because I have I'm gonna go blank. Hang on, I'm going blank on their names actually, but Alan and dang it, what's his name? I don't know, the other main character in Jurassic Park. But those two together had to be there, and they're like, those are like the Dustin, Hopper, and then those two are like the ones I'm most impressed with, because it's like Alan is literally holding like a little raptor claw like he has in the movie.
That's cool.
And yeah, Malcolm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Malcolm. Yeah. And he's just like exactly. I'm surprised sometimes when they make, because there's pops that I've seen at Walmart and stuff that I look at and I'm like, you know, it's just not like, I don't know, it's not as accurate to the character as it could be, but like those specifically are spot on. And the one that I never actually bought that I thought I was going to, but Doc from Back to the Future. That one is, like, I sent Ryan a screenshot of it because I was just like, this is, like, one of the most just impressive. Like, they got, like, wrinkles on his forehead and, like, all that. Like, it looks so much like...
I actually have a Doc Brown.
Nice.
I have the original Doc Brown, the one that they did.
Might be the same one, but it looks
I'll find it. I'll send you a picture after. I have a Doc Brown. I don't have a Marty. I do have Doc Brown, though.
I've seen Marty at Walmart a few times, but I just never... Like, if I'm gonna... Honestly, if I got Back to the Future props, it would definitely be, like... If I could find those two together at the same time, then I would buy them, because...
See, that was my issue.
Must.
I found Doc and never found Marty. So, yeah, it's...
I think
It's
there's
wild.
if I'm not wrong, I remember seeing it somewhere, and I don't remember where it was. There was a Doc and Marty pop little set where it's like in a big box that comes with like a little Mandalorian, DeLorean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That one that's fantastic because you could literally just
I
have them
wonder-
like with it together.
I wonder if they have the Back to the Future 2 version of Doc.
They have a few.
Huh.
They definitely done a few. I
'Cause they
have
could-
one of the 2-packs. I have the Joker and Harley Quinn 2-pack, and the only place you could get it was FYE. And like the cool thing about it that stand out from like the original single ones is like they're all metallic, so like their clothes are like metallic looking, as opposed to just the normal paint. So that's like the only 2-pack I have. I have a couple of the big pops. I have one that Trav really wants, and I have the X-Force Deadpool.
What was the one that I want?
My giant Mando.
Oh yeah. That one's
The chrome
fantastic.
Mando I have.
Yeah, that one's great. Yeah, because, actually, when I really think about it, because I'm trying to think of what's all in my studio in there. I know I have a Luke Skywalker from, I have him from A New Hope. He's got kind of the, like, whitish robes with the blue saber. I would love, I don't think I've seen a Return of the Jedi Luke with the black and green saber. I don't know.
It exists.
Honestly, I don't have a Vader. I need more Star Wars pops is basically what I remember thinking a while back. It's like, I don't have that many. I have a little R2D2 though that makes the sound. I don't think he's technically a pop. It's like a little. He might be, but
It's
he's got a
also
button
cool
on him
they
that
have
makes the sounds and stuff.
bands.
Yeah,
Do what?
they started doing
Like-
the pop music thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they have Rush and Def Leppard are the two I've seen.
There's Metallica.
Yeah.
I have two Biggie Smalls pops too that are worth quite a bit of money now.
Yo, I've never seen those.
I got them at a Comic-Con for oh god, I want to say I paid like maybe 10 or 12 bucks a piece, and at the time I bought the one where he had the his like pimp cane and his crown, or it's either the one I have of him in the yellow jersey. I bought one for like $12, and I feel bad because the guy didn't know what he had, but the one it's literally worth like $80.
Nice. So, rounding out about the last 10 minutes of the show here, do you guys have recommendations? Because I haven't even started thinking about mine, but then I just realized we got to do recommendations.
I mean, I can kind of fudge one up real quick here.
All right, fudge one.
Play Pokemon Go again.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Dustin's back into it. I'm hyped about that because I had like a pending gift to him for like
Yeah,
months.
me
just
and
waiting.
Trav never have stopped, so
And I play every day, but
yeah,
It's-
every day for me too.
just like I want to
If
send
not
more
every day, very
Dustin more
often.
gifts, but he won't accept the first one.
Oh, and I need to add Dustin, or unless
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did
that'd
a
be-
whole. Me and Thomas did a whole thing last night. While waiting to clock out. Like, oh yeah, we're
need to
gonna,
add
you know,
Thomas
he's gonna,
too.
he's gonna add. He added Dustin, and like I didn't even know Trista played until Dustin said something about it. So I hit her up. I'm like, send me your Poke Code because I don't even know you play. And she's like, is that a surprise? I'm like, not really, but I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't know that. I guess I should have just assumed it. But
Oh, she loves Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
And we're
'cause she
so
was saying,
excited too.
people think she's weird or something. I'm like, I know a lot of people. Like, I know an older lady at work that literally plays. Like, it's more of a thing now.
We're so
Honestly, I mean-
excited. Quick story. So we'll give Ryan time to think about his recommendation. So my buddy Eric, his birthday is next Friday. Not this Friday, next Friday, the 22nd. So on the 23rd, we're going to Kalahari, which is actually like an indoor water park. It's about 3 hours away from us. And we're not taking the kids this time. Tristan and I actually went there. I think we might have talked about it in the podcast, like back in March of last year. We went to that water park. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it on the podcast. And we took the kids and my brother. This time, it's all adults. So we are going there, and my friend's like, yeah, we're going to drink beer and eat good food. And me and Tristan are like, we're going to fucking play Pokemon. Like,
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool. I'm excited.
I'll go ahead and throw mine in.
Okay.
Buy your stimulus check, whatever's going on in people's lives, money wise or whatever. But I don't know. We were talking about pops and stuff, so I feel like it kind of relates. Just buy yourself something nice. That sounds really weird to say out loud, but that is a good recommendation. Is buy something for yourself that will just bring some sort of joy. Don't get wrapped up in all the like negativity and like anything negative going on in your life. Just like, even if that means like buying yourself a meal, you want to go sit down in a restaurant by yourself. I don't care. Just do something. Even if that, me and Dustin and Ryan, we're all creators in some way. Even if that means like a new piece of equipment. Like I just got some LAV mics. I got 2 mics. Just like I'm gonna try these out, and every little thing that you can do to upgrade something that you do is like there's an excitement there. At least for me, I get really passionate about it whenever I do get something. I'm like, you know what, this is gonna make this and this easier. And then there's always like little, like you guys know your own like little details of things that can make your creative experience or just like or your house or something you want to buy. Just go for it, like unless it's like $1 million, don't do that. But just
It's
I don't
honestly
know,
funny
like anything,
that you
anything,
say that.
everything.
Yeah, it's okay to get yourself some stuff. Like, it's funny that you say that because literally just before we started recording, I literally told Trav something that I just got. It's something so small and so, for me, but like I want people to see it and be like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that.
Ryan, you think you got it?
I don't know. Usually my cop-out recommendation, even though I'm passionate about it, is go back and listen to old music, which is one of my favorite things, if not my favorite thing ever, besides just like going back and watching movies that I might have missed or older movies, just rewatching or whatever. But instead of going that direction, I will go in this one. Keep in touch with your family. Like,
Agreed.
just any family member you can think of or that you probably don't think of as often, really keep in touch with them. And I don't know, I just felt like somebody needed to hear that.
Looks like we lost Dustin. Follow us on Twitter, guys. Email us. We had kind of like we lost Dustin in the call, so he ended his audio. So we're gonna wrap it up because we were wrapping it up anyway. But I'd like to thank Ryan for coming on.
Yeah.
It would let them know where maybe they could track you down.
It's WORSE Reviews, Worst Reviews, is my main channel on YouTube, and that's pretty much all that I advertise. That's me.
Well, guys, yeah,
movie
definitely.
reviews and stuff.
Definitely go give him a subscribe, and you'll be seeing him around. He'll be back. But we love you guys, and we'll be talking to you next time.
See ya. I might leave that laughing. Okay.